Hey YouTubers, welcome back to my series, Professional Video Production on a Shoestring Budget. Well, I'm really excited to be talking about the Atomos Ninja Star ProRes recorder today. It's a great piece of kit. I got it in March of 2017 and I wanted to share some information with you. Before I get going, I'll put a screen up with the segments and the info that I'm going to cover in the video so you can jump ahead if you want to. So yeah, I'm really excited to finally be able to get an external digital recorder for my Sony V1U, which I was recording on to mini DV tape, HD mini DV tape, which served me well for a long time. I even did a television series with that camera in that format for a British Columbia network called Chuck TV. I did a documentary series, and they were very happy with the quality of the video. But I've been wanting to get into a digital workflow for a long time, and with the Atomos price reductions recently introduced, I finally jumped in, and I'm thinking that probably there's quite a few of you out there that are maybe getting into it now as well. With the reduced price, I got this for $300 with the 128 CFast card, and I'm really happy with it. They cleared them out at $250, I see, and now you can get them for $200 with a 64 gig CFast card. I got the 128 gigabyte CFast card with it. So it's a great little piece of gear. You guys probably have already done some research. You know the routine. It'll record. It records in the codec of the ProRes codec, and you can select between the HD, the 422, or the LT. I think probably most of us work in the 422. The other feature is you can also record progressive on this, which is great. I know a lot of people really want progressive, and you can do that with this little unit. Being able to record in the progressive format is great for me because with the Sony V1U I needed an external recorder to be able to access that feature. So I'm going to fool around with that, but most of my work will be done with the 1080i interlaced in 422. I'm so far, like I said, I've had this since March. It's August 2017, and I've been really happy with it. It's worked really well. Okay, so let's get into what comes with it, what's in the box. So I got this from B&H, and this is what I got when I ordered it. You get this nice kind of cool carry case, and you get a battery charger with the AC, as well as a 12 volt for your car, which could be handy if you're on the road. Of course, you get the plugs for the different international, if you're traveling. You also get the card reader, and you get a 128 CFast card, the Atomos CFast card. Just a note about the CFast cards, this is one of the lower priced CFast cards on the market. A quick search on eBay will show you that you can still pay as much as $500 for a 128 CFast card. It can be a fairly pricey medium. So Atomos has developed this lower priced card. I think this sells for $150 on eBay, and they package it with the unit, so they get the cost rate down. It's a great deal. And of course, you get the Atomos unit, and you get a battery with it. It's the Sony style battery. So if a lot of you, like myself, if you have a Sony camera, you might have one of these in your kits already as a spare. With this battery, they say you'll get about 5 hours record time. So that's quite a bit. That's probably enough for most of us. As you can see, I've got the HDMI cable plugged in, and this doesn't come with the unit. You have to buy this separately. I paid $20 US for this. And I've heard people in some of the reviews, you know, kind of complain about the fragility of the micro HDMI connection at the unit, and you can buy these right angle connectors, and I think they're quite robust. It really takes a lot of the worry out of it for me. And the other end, of course, is the full HDMI with the coiled cable, which is handy. And lastly, you get this ingenious cheese mount plate for mounting it on the camera. You get 4 screws, and that will either mount on the bottom or the top of your unit, and then you have lots of options. You can attach it from the top or from the sides, and it'll give you lots of options. So let's look at mounting this on the camera and what I have to do to mount mine on my camera. Let's check that out. Let's look at how I mounted this on my Sony V1U. The challenge for me, as you can see, I'm out of options in terms of places where I can mount something. I really like to have the little light on there, the shotgun and the wireless mic, so I was sort of out of options, but with this being the smallest and lightest ProRes recorder on the market, it's 8 ounces or about 220 grams with the battery and the media, I thought I should be able to get away with just Velcro attachments on this. So I've got some Velcro here on the battery. I've got this battery that actually protrudes quite a bit from the camera, and I've got a couple of contact points there, and I did the correspondingly on the Atomos unit. I put some on the battery and some on the bottom, and as an additional safety, I've got Velcro on the ends of the battery, and for an additional strap, I've put that on there, and then I use this strap around the handle, and I'm pretty confident with that. I think that's pretty sturdy. If I was really concerned, if I was going to be up in the air, I would put the mounting bar on there, and I would attach some sort of a 1/4 inch screw with an eye on it and put a safety line on it. If I was in the water or if I was up in the air and I was really concerned, I could easily do some kind of a safety feature on that. So that's how I mounted mine to my Sony V1U, and I'm pretty confident with that. Okay, so let's get into operating the unit. It's pretty simple, really pretty self-explanatory. There's a few things. To turn the unit on, you press the record button, and it'll turn the unit on. To turn it off, you just press the record button again, hold it for a couple of seconds, it shuts off. To format the CFast disk, you press play record, hold that down for about 3 seconds. I'm not going to do it because I've got media on the disk, I don't want to lose it. The previous button will switch between the different codecs, the ProRes HD, 422, and LT. I think I'm going to be using 422 probably all the time. And the next button is how you access the progressive. You can switch from the interlaced to the progressive, which I think a lot of you will enjoy, and a lot of you do like the progressive. So that's a nice feature. You've got some VU meters. I'm not recording yet, so I'm not getting anything on the audio. It tells you how much battery you have, how much battery life, and how much time on the CFast card is indicated over here. My understanding is that in 422 I should get about 90 minutes on the 128 gigabyte CFast card, which is usually enough for most of us. Let's turn on the camera and have a look at what happens when we turn on the camera. So you can see that light went from red to green, and what that's telling you is that the Atomos has locked onto the camera, HDMI signal coming out, and you're good to go, you're ready to record. My Sony V1U record button doesn't trigger the Atomos. I have to actually press the record button on the Atomos to get it going, which once you get in the habit, it's a pretty easy routine to get into. And I am recording on my Sony V1U on the mini DV tape HD as an archive, as a backup, as well as the digital onto the CFast card. And I will do that, especially on an important project. If I'm doing a documentary or something, I'll record all my media on the mini DV tape as well as a backup, which for me I really like. I think that's a real nice feature. And so that's it. So you're recording, stop recording, shut the camera off, and okay. So let's talk about monitoring. This does have the HDMI micro output. So if you're working with a client or a director and they want to see what you're shooting, you can attach an external monitor. It can be kind of awkward, but you can attach an external monitor through the output, and then your client can see exactly what you're shooting. As well, if your camera doesn't send audio out through the HDMI, there's an audio input there as well for your audio signal if your camera doesn't send that via HDMI. The other thing you can do with it, if it's awkward to set up a monitor while you're shooting, maybe you're doing a lot of handheld stuff and you're moving around a lot, but you still need to check your footage while you're in the field to make sure you've gotten what you want. You can hook that up to an external monitor and just play back your footage on the card. Let's have a look at that. Turn the unit on. And press play. If nothing comes up, you might have to use the back button. There you go. There's the footage there. I shot that this morning. And of course it goes through it one file at a time. You can preview all your files. Okay, so let's look at the workflow. You just take your CFast card and plug it into your reader and plug that into your computer. So you can see I've just plugged in the Atomos or the card reader, and it mounts on the screen almost right away. There's your Atomos Ninja Star media card, your CFast card, and I see some people on some of these videos, they like to show, like they like to take chunks of media and drop it right into Final Cut Pro. That's not normally what I do. I'm going to, I've got a folder here, I've already done this actually, called Atomos Test. And I'm just going to take these files. I shot this the other day in the morning. I'm just going to take some of these files and drag them onto one of my media drives. So that's going to take a few seconds. These are pretty big files. Okay, so that's finished. Let's have a look at Final Cut Pro. I'm going to eject that so there's no confusion. Eject that drive, and let's have a look at Final Cut Pro. It's over here. So I've created a new bin called Atomos Test, and I'm going to find those files and bring them into Final Cut Pro. There they are there. There's the folder. I've got it. Let's backtrack here a little bit. I put it on my internal hard drive, Media 3, and there are the files there. And there they are in my bin. And let's open one up in Final Cut Pro, and there it is. So it's just that easy. So you've recorded ProRes codec 422 native HDMI out of your camera right onto the card, and you brought it into your editing program, and you're all good to go. And it's great. So there you go. The Atomos Ninja Star. I'm really happy to finally be in a digital workflow. I'm pretty excited, and it's a great product. I highly recommend it. If you haven't looked at it, I'd look into it, and I'd highly recommend it. So check out my other videos. I've got a whole series on professional video production, and you might find some useful tips and tricks in there, and I've got other videos as well. So thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.